People argue with me about mentors. No, just use your own gut feeling. Is that how you learn English? When you were 2 years old, you use your gut feeling to start conjugating verbs? No, you learn from other people.
You can learn from their success, even if you are in a totally different industry, because success leaves clues across all industries.
I'm notorious for just cold calling people, man. You know, just pick up the phone, call them up, and let's just talk.
Rise and shine, it's Espresso time. What's up, Believe Nation? It's Evan. My one word is believe, and I believe in you. I believe you have Michael Jordan level talent at something, and I want you to find it, embrace it, and use it to make a difference in the world. So let's start your day off right. Grab your coffee and sip on today's message, Find Mentors. Over to you, Tai Lopez.
I wake up every morning. Espresso keep me going. I wake up every morning.
The fact that people argue with me on this reading thing, and people argue with me about mentors. No, just use your own gut feeling. Is that how you learn English? When you were 2 years old, you use your gut feeling to start conjugating verbs? No, you learn from other people. You learn manners, you learn language, you learn all things valuable. You learn to drive from another person. So doesn't it make sense you learn life? So books are just the mentors who maybe are dead now. You want to learn about Steve Jobs? He ain't alive to teach you. But you can learn through accumulated wisdom. And that's why, trust me, very few powerful businessmen I've ever met don't read a lot. Warren Buffett, who I think is the best businessman by far in the world, he has 75 companies that he pretty much runs, 200 billion in revenue. He reads 8 hours a day. He reads 600. He said he slowed down in his old age. He only reads 500 pages a day. Bill Gates goes on reading vacations. Mark Zuckerberg just started a reading once a week book club on Facebook. It already got a couple million followers. And now with audio books, there's no excuse. You got YouTube videos. Let this thing run in the background. Like you want to become like a supercomputer where you just download smart crap from smart people. And you pick and choose. Like some people are like, Tai, I don't agree with everything you say. I'm like, good, I don't agree with everything I say. Like a year later, I'm like, wait, I was wrong. I see people making fun of the Kardashians. I'm like, you're gonna make fun of the Kardashians? Look, Kylie Jenner, the youngest Kardashian, in the last 18 months has done $400 million in revenue on lipstick kits and various makeup things with Kylie Cosmetics. Put that in perspective. L'Oreal, Maybelline, massive brands. It took them 50 years as an organization with thousands of employees to do what Kylie Jenner did by herself at 20 at 18. You're gonna laugh at the Kardashians? Do you have to agree with everything the Kardashians? No. But like Abraham Lincoln said, I learn from everybody, even if sometimes it's what not to do. So you can just go into the Kardashians, reverse engineer their success, go, I like this, I like this, I like this, I don't like that, then leave out what you don't like.
If there was one hack to shortcutting your path to success, it would be to find mentors, to learn from people who've already done what you're trying to do instead of trying to come up with every single solution yourself. This is the thing that saved my company. When I was 19 years old, I had my first software company. I was struggling. I was making $300 a month, barely able to survive, feeling terrible about myself, having no self-confidence, no self-worth, feeling like a disgraced human being, feeling the smallest possible shell of a human being that I could ever feel. That was me when I was 19 years old. I told my business partner that I quit. I cried my face off that night, and I woke up and I just told myself, I'm not the first guy to try to solve this before. Like somebody's figured out how to have success in a software company. Why am I trying to do everything myself? And Bill Gates saved my company. I'm so grateful. I've never met him in person yet. There's still some time, which is great. I looked at how did Bill Gates make his first $1 million? Not how does he make another $1 million now? That's not interesting to me. He's already a billionaire. How do I go from 0 to 1? That's all I cared about at the beginning. And he did it through partnerships. And I applied that strategy to my business. And within a little bit of time, I had my first deal, my first partnership deal. I had $13,500 in the bank up front, and it blew my mind. I'm making $300 a month. I don't know how I'm going to survive. And I got a deal for $13.5K. It was the most money I had ever seen. That may not sound like a lot of money right now, but to me, that was, I won the lottery. I won the jackpot. I was eating, beans for lunch every day and celebrating a client deal with McDonald's French fries because I couldn't afford the entire meal. So to get $13,500 up front for a partnership deal was was crazy. It was amazing. And more importantly than that, I had a way to go get more partnership deals so I could replicate this and get more money up front. And two, just that idea of unlocking success by modeling the people that had come before me. It's not going to take you all the way. You know, what Bill Gates didn't work 100% for me, but it took me 80% of the way, 90% of the way. I just had to modify it to fit my business and my strategy. So it's the single biggest unlock to be able to grow your company quickly, to achieve whatever goal you have quickly. Learn from the people, their successes and failures who have come before you. So now how do I do it? Great, Evan, get a mentor. How do I go out and do it? I'm going to give you 3 tips. First off are the local mentors. The local mentors are people in your community. They might be part of your family. They might be part of your church. They might be part of your high school or your university alumni. They might be friends of friends of friends. Get the word out that you are trying to do this kind of business, or you are looking to try to grow in this area, and does anybody know anybody? A friend of a friend, a mother of a friend, a cousin's brother, something out there. There are people around you in your local community, if you started asking that you're looking for help in this area, that they will support you. I will definitely tap into the networks again, so look at your church group if you're part of a church group, look at any community or clubs you're a part of, definitely tap into your school network. High school alumni, university alumni, they love helping and giving back. So finding that local mentor is a great first step. Way number 2, my personal favorite, aspirational mentors. These are people who you have never met, may never meet. I've got some of them on the wall behind me. I will never meet this man or that man because they're both gone, but they've taught me a lot. And so I would look at 2 kinds of aspirational mentors. One, people who are in your industry who've accomplished a lot. Bill Gates was in my industry, software. I could learn from him to grow. You know, Les Brown is my hero from a speaking perspective, young Les Brown, so I can learn by watching his speeches and his programs and his courses to better myself. Whoever has done what you're trying to do, yes, you'll still have to modify it again to fit your needs and strategy, but you can get 80-90% of the way by modeling what worked for them. And then 2, I would just look at the people who you look up to who are not in your industry. You know, if you love Kanye West, or you love Oprah Winfrey, or you love Naveen Jain, or whoever it is, you can learn from their success, even if you are in a totally different industry, because success leaves clues across all industries. Why do I feature Michael Jordan on this channel? Or why might I feature a singer or a painter or an inventor? Because the lessons are the same. Jordan, okay, we're not going to learn how to dunk. I'm not going to feature that on my channel, but everything around his work ethic and how he works with the team and how he prepares, all of that stuff is still highly relevant. And the reason to pick people who you love is because you will look up to them and you're more likely to take the advice. Even though Jordan might be saying the exact same thing as Jobs, you may not like Jobs. And so you'll ignore his message. But if Jordan's telling it to you, you're going to listen to it. That's why I feature so many people from different backgrounds, because I'm hoping to hit you with the same message over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, that hopefully, because somebody said it, it's finally going to stick with you. If you need to hear it from Kanye and you won't hear it from Jobs, awesome, as long as you get the message. And so looking at aspirational mentors who are in your field, have done a lot, or 2, are people who you just look up to, study their stories, they're inspiration for you, and they can also give you the tactics on what to do to grow your business. And 3 is online mentors. It's never been easier to get access to people who have experience that you can ask a specific question to. I go live almost every day of the week. Every weekday, I'm live. I'm right now 4 days live on Instagram, 1 day live on YouTube. Come ask me a question. I had Stephen Kelly on my channel. We answer questions every month. He's a CEO of a giant corporation, $2 billion. Do you have a question? You want to get help? Come on, it's free. Ask us questions. Tai Lopez goes live. Ask him questions. This is your chance. Like, it's never been easier to get access to these people. Follow them on all the platforms. Follow them on Twitter, on Snapchat, on Instagram, on YouTube. When they have something that goes live, you want to be a part. Put your hand up. It's crazy how many people at the beginning of one of these sessions don't put their hands up. And then by the end, everybody's putting their hand up. Be the first. Go with intention. Know that I'm going live. Know that Ty's going live. Know that whoever you look up to is going live at this time. Pay attention to their events. Be there first. Be welcoming. Have a great attitude. Say hi to everybody and ask your question ASAP. Like, this is your chance. I wish I had this opportunity. The number of people who are 13, 14, 15 years old who pop in on my live chats and ask me questions, where I was 13, 14, 15, had to go to the library to get answers. This is amazing. So that's your chance to be able to get access to online mentors to answer the specific questions that you are going through. Now I have a special bonus clip I think you're going to enjoy, but before that, I want to know, question of the day, Who is your biggest mentor? Who has helped you out the most, whether it's a local, aspiration, or online mentor? Who has been the biggest help? Show them some love. Give them some exposure in the YouTube comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I believe in you. I hope you continue to believe in yourself and whatever your one word is. Much love. I'll see you again tomorrow morning for another shot of espresso, and enjoy the bonus clip.
I wake up every morning. Espresso keep me going.
You've mentioned that you've been lucky enough to have mentors in your life, such as Anna Wintour, the editor of Vogue, Ariana Huffington, Johnny Ive of Apple.
I'm notorious for just cold calling people, man. Just pick up the phone, call them up, and let's just talk. There's nothing in particular. I just want to talk and just, explain to me how you see your business. How do you operate the business? Johnny Ives in particular, it's just fascinating, his process of creating design. And when I was playing, when I did that, I used to try to connect the dots between how John Williams would compose a score for a film, or Johnny Ives would design a new Apple product, and how does that connect to how I play the game of basketball? Is there something there that I can learn that can be used when I step out here on the court? There's lessons that surround us. Life is basically a library. All we need to do is just open our eyes and look and ask and read accordingly.
So is that something you were doing? You were building those relationships even outside of your interests as a businessman, really, even as an athlete and a basketball player?
Yeah, it's the curiosity. I think the curiosity is the most important thing. It sounds really weird to say, but like leadership lessons. I learned leadership lessons just from walking in the park and just observing nature and the sun's relationship with nature and relationship with the moon, and the sun understanding when to be present and when to go away, right? Because as a teammate, it was like, dude, the sun's out all damn long. You're gonna sunburn a hell of a lot of people, right? So if I'm playing this game and I'm on top of my guys for 48 minutes, dude, you're gonna sunburn every single teammate there, right? So there's certain times where it's important for the sun to be present. There's other times it needs to go away, right? And but there are life lessons that surround us at all times, and I've always been extremely, extremely curious about those things.
Very frequently we'll ask someone, for instance, what advice would you give to a 30-year-old just getting started in your industry? What is the best advice you would give? And just as important, I think you should ask, what advice should that person ignore? Or what is the worst advice that you hear repeated often in your industry? What is the conventional wisdom that you disagree with? Those type of questions give you a not to-do list, and it is what you don't do that provides the space for what you can do. Anyone who says, you should do this the way I did it, without any caveats, should be maybe ignored in many cases, but certainly viewed with suspicion. The type of mentors who tend to be the most helpful are those who don't necessarily give you an answer, but they give you a better way of finding that answer. I'm leaving my second job, I want to start my own company, what should I do? And they say, well, I can't tell you what you should do because I don't have enough information, which is a huge credibility point in my mind that they have the awareness to say that. And they said, but if I were in your position, here's how I might think through it. Right? So look for mentors who don't necessarily give you answers, but who walk you through the process of how they might think about making the proper decision given all of your particulars. And I think that's what, in my experience, separates a mediocre or decent mentor from a great mentor.
If and when you go to find a coach, make sure that they practice and not just profess.
Not theory, but
right.
They've
been there. So I was a personal trainer that worked at Disneyland as a fry cook and as a bouncer at a gay bar, because the gay bar paid more because skinheads would come in to gay bash.
Sure.
And so I needed so much money that I was willing to get in fights. I'm not a fighter. I can talk my way out of any fight.
You're a big dude, though.
It's God's gift of intimidation. And then if the talking doesn't work, I can and then I run, right? And so I'm that trainer who then was able to open up 5 gyms, make them successful finally, because until then I was a personal trainer, fry cook, and a bouncer. A client took mercy on me and said, hey man, You're not a closer. You're an order taker. Listen to this Tom Hopkins tape. You didn't close me. You just took my order. And that hurt, right? And I said, well, you're right. I have two side jobs. People who come to me give me objections. I don't know how to handle the spousal objection, money objection, time objection. So I let them walk. So I just take the people who are like, how much is personal training? I want to buy 10 sessions. Great. Let me take your order.
Right.
And so as my mentor, Jim Franco, gave me that tape, and Tom Hopkins leads to Brian Tracy to Dan Kennedy to Halbert, et cetera. And, and then I start learning personal development, right? To Tony Robbins, and all of a sudden my mind is opened up into my surroundings of the people around me. Who do I need to cut out because they're cancers versus who I need to spend more time with because I need to rise to their level? And all of a sudden I realized, holy cow, man, these are, I've got built-in coaches. As a personal trainer one-on-one, your clients are typically the affluent people, right?
Right.
So I started asking all my clients in between workouts,
Right.
a little business advice here, a little business advice there, and I found that these are people who practice. One guy's got a software company, next guy does automotive company, right? Rental cars, public storage places. And man, it was just the best advice versus taking advice from a family member or friend who goes, I heard it on Shark Tank.
Who's not practicing, who hasn't experienced it.
Yeah. So that's the big thing, is to take advice from someone who's been there and done that. And if they're consulting in your industry, but they come from a different industry, I would tread cautiously.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But you think everyone should have a coach?
I believe so.
I think so too.
As athletes, we have coaches. Right?
Don't try to do it on your own.
No.
Yeah.
If you've dealt with trauma in your life, whether it's some kind of physical abuse, sexual abuse, whatever, neglect as a kid, you go to a therapist. A good therapist is a coach.
Yes.
Right? You've got personal development coaches like the Tony Robbins, like the Brandon Bouchards. Why not have business coaches?
Yeah.
Why not have high performance coaches? If you've got limiting beliefs, why not have someone reset your thermostat that mom and dad had set so low?
Yeah.
Right? Or circumstance of growing up had set so low. We're in it. We can't see the trees.
Yeah.
I look at it as a coach. A good coach is in a helicopter saying, you see a lot of trees, but I know if you go 50 yards that way and then 10 yards that way, you've got an open path.
Be open up, yeah.
That's it.
Right.
That's what a coach does. They buy you time. They buy you speed. They buy you success.
If you tell yourself a story long enough, you start to believe it. And once you believe it, you act like it.
I have tussled with a whale, I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail. Now you know I'm bad. Only last week I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean I make medicine sick.
The fundamental key to success is
it can take between 18 and 254 days of taking action for a new habit to stick. I've created a new course called 254 Confidence, where every single day for 254 days, I will be sending you a video between 30 seconds and 5 minutes long that you start your morning with around making you feel confident. It's absolutely free. Check out the link in the description below to get access.